My wife had started going to the gym almost every day. At first, I thought it was a good thing. She said she wanted to feel healthier, to look better, to have more energy. I was proud of her dedication. But after a few weeks, I noticed something unsettling. She didn't just go to work out. She dressed up, full makeup, perfect hair. Her gym clothes were almost too revealing. And when I asked her why, she laughed it off and said, "Don't be silly. I just want to look good for myself." But something inside me whispered, "It's not for you." One evening, while she was showering, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. Normally, I don't check her phone. We trusted each other. But the message preview caught my eye. It wasn't a name, just a number. And the text read, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow, babe." My stomach dropped. My hands trembled as I unlocked the phone. What I saw made my heart race. Dozens of messages, flirty emojis, late-night conversations, and phrases like, "I love the way you smell after the gym." This wasn't just a friend. When she came out of the shower, I was sitting on the edge of the bed, holding her phone. My chest was tight, my voice shaking. "Who is he?" I asked. At first, she froze. Then, instead of denying it, she rolled her eyes like I was being dramatic. "It's not a big deal. We just talk." "Not a big deal? You call him babe. You tell him you love the way he smells. What the hell is this?" She stayed silent for a long time, then sighed, and finally whispered the words that crushed me. "Okay, fine. I've been seeing someone." The air left my lungs. I wanted to scream, to cry, to break something. Instead, I just sat there, numb, as she explained herself like it was some casual mistake. "I didn't plan this. He makes me feel alive again. He listens to me in ways you don't." Alive? Wasn't our marriage supposed to be her life? Hadn't I been there for her through everything? Every promise, every vow, every moment we shared suddenly felt like a lie. Over the next days, we barely spoke. She avoided me, spent more nights working late, and I didn't even have the energy to fight. Then one morning, she sat across from me at the kitchen table. She wouldn't look me in the eyes. "I think I should move out," she said. "Move out? With him?" She nodded. It felt like someone ripped my heart out right there. But instead of begging her to stay, I said nothing. Maybe a part of me already knew she was gone long before this conversation. I'll never forget the night she left. She packed her things, quietly, no tears, no hesitation. I watched as the woman I loved walked out the door to another man's arms. The silence after she left was unbearable. The house felt colder, emptier, like the walls themselves knew she wasn't coming back. I laid in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, wondering how everything had fallen apart so fast. A month ago, I thought we were fine. Now, my wife was living with her lover. And the worst part? A tiny voice inside me still wanted her back. Weeks passed with almost no contact between us. Then one evening, she called. Her voice was calm, almost too calm. "I need to tell you something. I'm pregnant." The words hit me like a truck. Pregnant? My mind spun. Was it mine? Was it his? I asked her and she hesitated. That pause told me everything. "I don't know," she whispered. I couldn't live with the uncertainty. The thought that I might raise another man's child while mine was stolen from me ate me alive. So I told her, "We need a paternity test." She didn't argue. In fact, she almost seemed relieved. Maybe part of her wanted the truth too. But as we scheduled it, I could feel my chest tightening.
deep down, I already feared the answer. Waiting for the results was torture. Every night, I lay awake imagining two futures. One where I was the father and had to decide if I could co-parent with the woman who betrayed me. Two, where I wasn't the father and had to accept that she had built a new family without me. Both futures felt like prisons. When the envelope finally came, I sat at the kitchen table with trembling hands. I didn't even breathe as I unfolded the paper. The words blurred in front of me, but one line burned into my brain. Probability of paternity, 0%. It wasn't mine. The child she carried belonged to him. I sat there for hours, numb. The tears never came. Only a hollow emptiness spread inside me like someone had scooped out my soul. Later that night, she called me again. "Well?" she asked softly. I wanted to scream, to curse, to ask her why she had destroyed us. Instead, I just said the truth. He's the father. Silence. Then she muttered, "I'm sorry." Sorry? That single word was supposed to fix this? Months later, when she was close to giving birth, she suddenly reached out again. "I want you there, at the hospital," she said. "Why? The baby isn't mine. You're still my husband. You should be by my side." I almost laughed. She had chosen him over me, built a life with him, carried his child, yet she wanted me to play the role of her comforting husband in the delivery room? When I refused, she exploded. "You're heartless. After everything we've been through, you can't even support me?" I snapped back. "Everything we've been through? You chose this. You made your bed, now lie in it. With him." She hung up on me, but the damage was done. I had never felt so humiliated. She wanted the benefits of my loyalty without giving me any of her own. Still, part of me wondered why she even wanted me there. Was her perfect new man not as reliable as she thought? Something about her voice, tired, nervous, told me her new life wasn't the fairy tale she had imagined. But that didn't matter. The truth was already written. Her child wasn't mine. Her loyalty wasn't mine. Her love wasn't mine. And yet, for reasons I couldn't explain, I still couldn't stop caring. When the day finally came, she texted me, "I'm at the hospital. Please, just come." Against my better judgment, I did. Not for her, not for him, but because some part of me still cared. When I walked into the delivery room, she barely looked at me. She was too focused on her contractions. But when the baby was born, she turned to me and whispered, "Thank you for being here. He should have been here, but he couldn't make it." The words stabbed me. The man she threw everything away for, he didn't even show up. And she had the audacity to use me as his replacement? Later, when friends and family came to visit, she introduced me as if nothing had happened. "This is my husband. He's been so supportive through everything." I wanted to scream the truth, that I wasn't the father, that she had destroyed our marriage. But I stayed silent. Everyone smiled at her words. Only I knew the weight of the lie. It was the most humiliating day of my life. In the weeks after the birth, she leaned on me heavily. Sleepless nights, endless crying, doctor's appointments. I was there more than the actual father. Every time I held that baby, I felt torn apart inside. He was innocent, but he was living proof of my wife's betrayal. One night, while feeding him, she sighed and said, "You're better at this than he is." I wanted to throw the bottle across the room. Was that supposed to make me feel better? To hear that I was a better father to another man's child than the man himself? A few months later, she showed up at my door with her bags. "I can't do this anymore. I want to come back." I stared at her. This was the woman who chose him, who humiliated me, who tore our family apart. Now she wanted to return like nothing had happened? Part of me wanted to slam the door in her face. Another part whispered, "What if this is your chance to fix things?" Living together again was a disaster. Every day felt like a war zone. Arguments about money, about the baby, about trust. There was nothing left to save. One night, I finally snapped. "I can't do this anymore. We're done. For real this time." She cried, begged, accused, but I didn't waver. That was the night I decided divorce was the only way forward. The custody battle was brutal. Even though the baby wasn't mine, she insisted I had responsibilities as her husband. Her lawyer painted me as cold and unfeeling. Mine painted her as unfaithful and manipulative. The truth was somewhere in between. But either way, the judge saw through it. I walked out of that courtroom free. No custody, no obligations, just done. When the divorce papers were finally signed, I sat in my car and stared at them. Relief washed over me. The nightmare was over. But so did emptiness. I had lost my wife, my marriage, the future I thought I'd have. It was freedom, but it was also grief. Months passed. Slowly, the wounds began to heal. I started going out more, meeting new people. One evening, I met someone. She was nothing like my ex. She didn't play games, didn't hide her phone, didn't make me feel like I had to beg for love. For the first time in years, I felt something I thought I had lost forever. Hope. Looking back now, I realized that everything I went through, every tear, every sleepless night, every betrayal, shaped me into who I am today. I lost my wife. I lost the life I thought I wanted. But I found myself again. And maybe, just maybe, I found the chance to build something real.